A very good afternoon. Welcome to Premier League Live for our second of our doubleheader and our headline of the weekend at Old Trafford as Manchester United take on Arsenal. Two foes who in the early 2000s would have been competing for titles. Well, one of them wants to be in a title race this year in Arsenal, and Manchester United want to get themselves back into a place where they can even be in a remote conversation for the title. They want to better that 15th place finish they had at the end of the last campaign. And what a way to start the new campaign with a big game on a Sunday afternoon. The Premier League is certainly back, and what we've seen over this weekend has been very entertaining so far. 8 games of the 10 total have been finished. 2 0-0 draws in there, a couple of home wins. The only team to win away from home this weekend is Manchester City, who thumped Wolves 4-0. But it is City who sit top. Look at Forest winning, Tottenham winning, Sunderland winning on their return to the Premier League as well, and a couple of draws in there as well. So exciting weekend so far, but we've got 2 huge games still to come for you, and no bigger than this one. As I said, Man United against Arsenal at Old Trafford, and Leeds take on Everton tomorrow night. Well, let's have a look and see how these two teams start their seasons, because it doesn't got to start easy for either team this afternoon. But here's Man United's first 6. They host Arsenal today, then they head to London to face Fulham next week, then host Burnley at Old Trafford a week later. After the international break, it's not going to get any easier. They head to Manchester City for the Manchester Derby, then host Chelsea the week after, followed by a trip to Brentford as well. So not an easy start for Man United, but if you think that's tough, have a look at Arsenal's. Arsenal head to Man United today, then host Leeds next Saturday, then head to Liverpool, which will be a huge game on the 31st of August, then host Nottingham Forest, host Man City, and then head to Newcastle. 5 of those opening 6 look absolutely horrendous for Arsenal, you gotta say. But it is all the talk about the 2 strikers that have made their way into these 2 clubs this summer, and this is a player versus player stats graphic. Viktor Gyökeres, the new Arsenal striker who starts today for Arsenal, we'll get the teams in a moment. Viktor Gyökeres on the left, and Benjamin Šeško, the new Man United striker who's on the bench today for United, on the right. You compare their goals. I mean, Viktor Gyökeres, 39 goals, an XG of 30.95. Both overperformed their XG last season in their leagues. Higher goal frequency from Viktor Gyökeres, more assists, more big chances created, more big chances missed though, and both have a 100% penalty conversion rate. We'll come back to that a little later on as well. But it is time for the biggest game of the weekend so far. It is 2 massive Premier League football clubs that in years gone past this would have been a title decider. Well, in 2025, one team were closer to relegation than the title last season, and Arsenal were 10 points off the eventual league winners Liverpool. A 3rd consecutive second place finish for the Gunners. They want to go one better. They need to take a step forward because it is getting a little bit impatient, those Arsenal fans. We will see how their season starts, and it starts here at Old Trafford this afternoon. And we start with Ruben Amorim's side. Altay Bayındır starts in goal. Continue with that 3-4-3 system this season, Man United. Lenny Yoro, Matthijs de Ligt and Luke Shaw are the centre-backs. Diogo Dalot is on the right wing-back, along with Casemiro and Fernandes in midfield, with on the left wing-back is Patrick Dorgu. And a front 3 of Bryan Mbeumo, who joined from Brentford, Mason Mount and Matheus Cunha, who joined from Wolves. On the bench for United, Heaton, Fredrickson, Heaven, Maguire, Mainu, Ugarte, Ahmad, Šeško and Zirkzee. For Arsenal, a couple of new signings in their starting 11 this afternoon. David Raya starts in goal. A back 4 much familiar of Arsenal. Ben White, William Saliba, Gabriel and Ricardo Calafiori at left back. Martin Zubimendi makes his Premier League debut for Arsenal in central midfield alongside Declan Rice and captain Martin Ødegaard. With that front 3, the 2 wingers are usual, Gabriel Martinelli and Bukayo Saka. With that new man, the one they've been crying out for so long, Viktor Gyökeres. Can he be the answer to all of Arsenal's worries? On the bench for the Gunners, Kepa, Mosquera, Timber, Lewis Skelly, Marino, Nwaneri, Madueke, Trossard and Havertz. It is 2 huge clubs in a huge game to start the new Premier League season. It's Man United against Arsenal at Old Trafford. Kickoff is next. a very good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us for this one. This afternoon, our referee today is going to be Simon Hooper. He's got the big call for the opening game of the new season for these two clubs. Neither would have been happy in mid-June seeing their first fixture of the season against each other. That was something I'm sure that both clubs were not particularly happy about, but if you're going to start, you're going to play each other twice anyway, you may as well start there and give us something entertaining on the opening weekend. But before we do that, of course, across all 10 Premier League games this weekend, all the clubs and players and fans will remember Diogo Jota and Andre Silva, who sadly lost their lives last month. Another wonderfully observed moment of silence at the Theatre of Dreams at Old Trafford. 70,000 strong, remembering those two gone too soon. But to the game now, and Arsenal in their huddle before the game over at the corner of which their fans reside for this one. Don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on post notifications if you haven't done so already. That would be greatly appreciated. It very much helps us, and we thank you all for joining and choosing us for your commentary here this afternoon. We're one down, or well, two down really, on Super Sunday. Our big Sunday doubleheader. And Man United Arsenal, a worthy headline for this opening Premier League weekend. A bit of John Denver to get the Old Trafford season underway. Take me home, country roads. And Arsenal will be hoping they will be taking the Premier League trophy home come the season's end as they get us underway here at Old Trafford. A lot of expectation on both clubs. We've made big money signings over the summer. Man United expected to be back in fighting for European places with no European football this season after losing the Europa League final in May. And Arsenal, all the expectation is that they will be in a title race. They're in their away strip today, or their third strip actually, of that white with kind of maroon trimmings. And Calafiori with the first long throw attempt here down the left side. At the near post, it's headed away well by Lenny Yoro. And up and away by Diogo Dalot to Brian Mbeumo, who brings it down nicely. And Arsenal want a foul there, but Simon Hooper's let it go. And Brian Mbeumo, he's played it through here from Matheus Cunha, who was just beaten to it by Ben White, who came across well and had to make that challenge as the two Man United new signings almost linked up there. Zubimendi got a whack on the face there by Mbeumo. Completely accidental, but he did get a firm whack. He was on his feet and is okay, but that's one way to welcome you to Premier League football for Martin Zubimendi. Here's Matthias de Ligt to Yoro. Going for that long diagonal. Bouncing ball in behind. Cunha was threatening again. And Mbeumo's on the scene too. Oh, and Arsenal very nervy at the back there between Saliba and Raya. And Mbeumo right on the back of him. Very lucky there. Very high pressure on the Arsenal defence from Man United's forwards in these early moments. Expect this to be a very good game. Two sides with the bit between their teeth, work to do, prove their worth. Man United a bit of an unknown entity with a new look forward line. And really, as I said, a bit of an unknown entity. Their defence wasn't awful last season. It was being able to take their chances, and that's why they've recruited further forward with the likes of Matheus Cunha and Brian Mbeumo, who both had great seasons in the Premier League last year. Wonderful output from both of those two players, and that's why Man United have snatched them up and want them to do the same for them this season. In terms of goals in the Premier League last season, Brian Mbeumo got 20 Premier League goals for Brentford last season. Matheus Cunha 15 Premier League goals for Wolves, and combined 35 between them. And 35 goals added to this Man United team will skyrocket them from 15th up to that European battle in which they want to be. And of course that's not including Benjamin Šeško, who's on the bench as well today. Here's Bruno Fernandes, swinging the ball out to the left hand side, taken down by Dorgu, challenged well by White, and out for the Man United throw. Take it quickly, Dorgu, nice little step inside, and works it back to Bruno Fernandes. That is the way you pronounce his name, Bruno Fernandes. So we will go for it, why not? Shaw, Dorgu, challenge there a little late by Ben White. He's trying to get the ball off him, but he took the man first. Now it's going to be a free kick to Manchester United, right in that left hand side. That's one thing about Arsenal, you couldn't have asked for probably a more difficult game. Although we probably made a bit of fun about Old Trafford being a home stadium for everybody else but Man United last season and how they played, but this is a new season, a new campaign, a new look Man United, with a lot to prove. This is not going to be a walk in the park for Arsenal. And now Bruno Fernandes over this free kick, wide on the left hand side. Body's in the box, Fernandes. Delivery was way off. Far too little. And Dorgu has to do a bit of a rescue job to play that one back to Altay Bayindir in the goal. Bayindir. Where's it? Long. Up in the air, one by Saliba. And Arsenal not getting much room in the midfield, but they've picked it up here down the right with Saka, who was hacked at, but he's got past his man. And Shaw was there to stop him in his tracks and force it back the way to Arsenal. They try the long ball over the top here, the Gunners. One for their new striker, Gyökeres, to chase. He gets the better of De Ligt, but Shaw, very good backtracking, gets in and helps Man United retrieve possession again. Very well played. Mep says, my prediction, Man United 2, Arsenal 1, Cunha and Martinelli to score for Man United. And Zubimendi to score for Arsenal. Spending 70 million on a player and benching him is crazy. Well, maybe he's just not fit enough. Benjamin Šeško. Could be. Or he maybe hasn't done enough with the team. I really don't know, but he's on the bench and he will be involved, I'm sure, at some stage, but he only signed on the 9th. That was 8 days ago, so he's probably not had much with the team. Here's Brian Mbeumo. He's broken behind here, and Mbeumo was seen all the way by Gabriel, but he got the shot off. It was low and hard, right at David Raya. Although we're in again. Oh, Jesus. Arsenal very sloppy from the back there. And Man United applying pressure early here. Casemiro holding off a challenge, and their referee's just going to pull it back for a foul on Fernandes here. And it's going to be a free kick to Man United again. Arsenal look very erratic. Very erratic. Yeah, Fernandes. Yeah, just challenged by Odegaard. He's a little late. There's a foul, nothing more. Zubimendi giving away another foul. Martin Zubimendi, who was linked with a Liverpool move the summer before this, last summer. He then said he wanted to stay at Real Sociedad for a further season. But something tells me that Mikel Arteta's links to that area of the world might have just persuaded Martin Zubimendi last summer to stay, and then Arsenal would pick him up next season, and that seems to be exactly what has happened. It was smart business by Arsenal to get him in. He did need a bit of reinforcement in midfield. Fernandez takes the shot. Oh, takes the free kick short, and the shot from long range from Dorgu was well off target, but tried something differently there, Man United. And of course, Ruben Amorim has only won 7 of the 27 Premier League games as a Man United head coach. That's crazily low. 7 out of 27, that's just over a 25% win rate in the Premier League, which is staggeringly low. They only won 11 Premier League games last season, did Man United, in 38. It's going to be another free kick here to Man United. Some calls for a further intervention from the referee there by the Man United players, but the referee saying nothing to that, and it's just going to be a free kick. See it again. Yeah, it's Dorgu coming inside. Zubimendi leaves a little bit late on, or it's Saliba actually. Saliba, yeah, steps in, just leaves a foot in, just catches Dorgu. It's one of those. They're giving away a lot of free kicks early on here, Arsenal. A lot of fouls. That's their 3rd foul in 8 minutes, so they're struggling to win the ball off Man United without giving them a free kick. That's a lovely ball over the top here by Delict, and Dorgu tried the first time pass. It's intercepted and put behind by Ben White for a corner. Man United have settled well, but Arsenal, as I said, have been a bit erratic. Very erratic. Not able to really take much of this game so far. Only 8 successful passes for Arsenal in the first 9 minutes, compared to the 37 of Man United. Started strong, the home side. They have a corner on the left-hand side. Bruno Fernandes is over it. Lots of bodies in that box. 6 to be exact. Ball in, and it's the only one that's found is David Raya, who now unleashes Arsenal on a counter-attack, and Odegaard rolls it in behind beautifully. Round the corner for Saka. He's got 2 of his front 3 with him. Saka couldn't get past the backtracking Mason Mount, and that's a fabulous challenge by the Man United number 7. That's a really good challenge. Fabulous tracking back by Mount. The 2 number 7s collide. That's a very good tackle. Saka tried to cut inside him, and Mount had the better of him. Throw into Arsenal down the right. Ben White to take. I think they might go for the long one again. They are. Getting bodies in the box. Taking his time, Ben White. Need to hurry this up a little bit. Long throw into the box now comes. Flicked on at the near post. Kept alive by Rice. Bobbling down. There's 3 Arsenal players and none of them go for it there. They all just stood and watched the ball bounce in front of them. And Altay Bayindir has to get it clear for evasive action, but that was bizarre. Arsenal win the throw. They move it quickly. Calafiori. Now Gabriel. Gabriel striding down the left channel. He's well challenged there by Casemiro, and Man United back on the ball again. Mbeumo holding off the ball well down the right hand side. Nice little 1-2 combinations. Casemiro was caught in no man's land there. Couldn't quite win the ball, and now Martinelli has it for Arsenal. Well, he makes up for it. Casemiro puts the ball out of play. It's actually Cunha, sorry, that makes that challenge, and it will be an Arsenal throw. Looking to wait around here, Arsenal, at the minute, and they're going to be denied a corner. It's a good tackle by Dalot, puts it out for the throw. Starting to try and settle into the game now, more Arsenal. Calafiori with a cut back into the box. Oh, intercepted, he's won it back though, Calafiori. Now finds Odegaard, has he got a chance? Odegaard at the byline, well challenged by Delict. And another Arsenal corner will come, but that was a little bit sloppy from United initially. The ball in by Calafiori dealt with. It's a little bit of a sloppy ball by Fernandes to lay it off to Euro. They get caught between 2 minds. Calafiori wins it back, lays it off to Odegaard, and Odegaard gets to the byline, and it's blocked by De Ligt behind for the corner. But a little bit sloppy there from United. They have a corner to defence. Five Arsenal players on the edge of the box here. This is intriguing. Started really well from corners last season. Trying a new technique. Right-footed. All arrive into the box. Bayindir can't keep it out. And it finds its way in. And it's Calafiori's head that it comes off. And after a slow start, Arsenal, like they did last season here at Old Trafford, score from a corner and take the lead. Man United 0, Arsenal 1. And that's what they needed to settle. Altay Bayindir got smothered. He couldn't clear it away, and he couldn't keep it out. And Arsenal have first blood in this game. It's a good delivery from the left-hand side from the corner by Rice. And again, there's players right on top of Bayindir. He's almost pushed into his own net here. Is Saliba too physical? I don't think he is. I think that's fair. I don't think that's a foul. Bayindir does well. Does all he can do is try and throw his arm at it. He doesn't do enough to get it away. It's poor goalkeeping, really, rather than anything else. Saliba does enough to put him under pressure, and Calafiori knocks it in at the back post. Man United 0, Arsenal 1. What a delivery by Declan Rice, though. An absolute perler from him. And Calafiori is the first scorer of the Arsenal season. And they already have the opener to the Gunners. And after Man United had started so well with all the possession and all the opportunity up the other end, all the threat that they caused Arsenal in those early moments, they have fallen behind here. Fernandes. Casemiro plays it out wide to Mount, linking up with Dorgu, trying to return the ball. Patrick Dorgu, but well stopped by Ben White. Oh, and Raya far from comfortable there, and White, and they've overrun it there, Arsenal again. They might have the lead, but they still look sloppy out the back. Well, Man United will have a throw-in down this left side. Well, as I was saying, when these two sides met at Old Trafford last season in the Premier League, hold on, there's going to be an issue here. Zubimendi is going to be penalised here for a foul on Bruno Fernandes on the edge of the box. Interesting. Didn't quite see it. We'll see this again. It's a flick ball over the top by Dalot. In behind goes Fernandes, and I mean, is he fouled? Yeah, he is. He's nudged in the back there by Zubimendi. There's a foul. And there's a free kick. Zubimendi claiming that he was innocent, but you've been thrown in at the deep end, certainly. His first Premier League game for Arsenal, and he's having to do all that at Old Trafford. And he's given away a free kick here, right on the edge of the box, to the right-hand side. So it benefits a left footer, this type of strike. Mount, Fernandes and Mbeumo are over it. Mount walks away, so it's Fernandes and Mbeumo. I mean, you wouldn't bet against Bruno Fernandes. I think he's the most likely to take it. I think he is going to take it. But you never know. Brian Mbeumo could swing a left foot at it. It benefits a left footer, but it could also use the right foot, Fernandes, to work it round the wall and sneak it in the right post. Here is Fernandes. He will take it, and he hits the wall. I think it was Calafiori's head that it came off. Well, certainly the tallest defender in there. And Mbeumo helps it back to his keeper, who sends it long. Gabriel winning the header. It's a bit of up in the air, back and forth head tennis between the two teams here. Good rally this, as it bounces down. And Saliba under pressure. Flicks it over the top. Brought down nicely on the second ball by Ødegaard. Skips past his man, skips past another, and was taken out there, Martin Ødegaard, by Luke Shaw, who's going to have a talking to by the referee. And the Arsenal captain hacked by Luke Shaw there. He skips past Casemiro, does really well, and gets the ball past Shaw, trying to find it out wide to Saka. And Shaw just leaves one in on Ødegaard. It's definitely a foul. I think the referee has done a decent job of managing this game so far. Very physical, very intense. First 17 and a half, almost 18 minutes here at Old Trafford. Man United 0, Arsenal 1. Ricardo Calafiori's header at the back post from the corner has Arsenal in front. And race over this set piece again. There's 3 Arsenal players hanging right at the back post. Gyökeres, Gabriel and White. And then there's a splattering of them around the edge of the D. They move into the line. Rice's delivery is too close to Altay Bayındır. And Bayındır gathers it simply for Man United. As there's going to be a little bit of an issue there. With Arsenal being too close to him or something like that. The referee wanted them to retake that throw. Bayındır into a pressured area. Does well to lay it off. Does De Ligt. Euro gets it back from Dallo and sends it flying. Nice flick on header there by Mount, but there was no one in behind to take that one on. And Arsenal just retrieve it back to their goalkeeper David Raya. At this minute in time, well, Man United have lost just 2 of their last 18 Premier League home games against the Gunners, winning 10 and drawing 6, though both defeats have been with Mikel Arteta in charge of Arsenal. 1-0 in November 2020 and 1-0 in May of 2024. That's going to be a foul given away by Matthijs de Ligt. And the two were have been inseparable in 2025. Their 2 meetings this calendar year have ended in 1-1 draws, albeit the FA Cup third round game was won by Man United on penalties at the Emirates. The other game here was at Old Trafford and it finished 1-1 in March. Martinelli does well. The space taken on by Calafiori. Is he offside? He is. And the other meeting last season, the game at the Emirates, Arsenal won by 2-0. They scored, I think, both goals from corners in that game against Man United on that day, and he is just leaning offside there. Calafiori, he's already been heavily involved in this game. Ricardo Calafiori, he joined Arsenal last summer. The 23-year-old Italian scored 2 Premier League goals last season, including a cracker against Manchester City at the Etihad early in the last campaign. Scored 3 goals in total. Scored a Champions League goal as well, did Ricardo Calafiori as well last season for Arsenal. As I said, joined the Gunners for £37.3 million in July of last year from Bologna. Already has Arsenal's first goal of the new Premier League season. There's Mikel Arteta. It's been a number of years since Arsenal knew what trophy success was. In the early stages of Mikel Arteta's tenure, they won the FA Cup and won the Community Shield. That was in 2020. And their critics are making stark claim of that. Gabriel. Ødegaard. Zubimendi. To Saliba, back to Martin Zubimendi now. Martin Ødegaard. works it across now to Gabriel. Trying to have a bit more control in the game so far, Arsenal. Possession has levelled a little bit. Odegaard does well with a flick round the corner. Saka stayed onside, according to the officials. Man United were calling for offside, but it wasn't given. And they work it back again, Arsenal. Zubimendi back the way to Raya, who's under pressure. David Raya, my goodness. What is he doing there? Trying to be far too cute. And he is incredibly lucky that that isn't going to be given as a penalty, because he was in no way control of that ball. He had the right to fight for the ball, but he lost it in the first place. And my goodness me. I'm all for goalkeepers having a hold of the ball and playing out from the back, but if you're going to do stupid shit like that, just get rid of it. Just know when to keep a hold of it and when to get rid. That's the difference. You got to know the difference. And David Raya walking a very fine line there. Bayindir gets it back from Lenny Yoro. 23.5 minutes gone. Man United 0, Arsenal 1. Here's a nice work to find Lenny Yoro down the right hand side. Picking it forward. Can't really work it to a forward there, Man United. It's intercepted by Arsenal, and then Calafiori gets them on the move quickly. Here's Martin Odegaard drifting forward. Well tackled by Casemiro, who was waiting for him. And now he's laid it off beautifully for Brian Mbeumo. It's a 2-on-2 here for Man United. Mbeumo gets a bit of space and hits it wide. It will be take a deflection. Will be a corner. Yeah, it was lovely there from Casemiro. Steps in, wins the challenge, and then lays a ball off beautifully out to the right channel. I mean, the acres of space. Calafiori, I said, got Arsenal forward. He was very central, almost in the 10 row for some weird reason. Why he was there, I don't know. But Brian Mbeumo has all that space down the right side. It leaves the 2-on-2 with Cunha and Mbeumo with the two Arsenal centre-backs. And it has them in a very good chance. Man United, and Mbeumo has the shot, takes a deflection, goes for the corner. And Mbeumo, who won the corner, will take the corner. Right hand side will be a left-footed in-swinger. Cleared away at the near post, that delivery. Cycled by Mason Mount, who goes all the way back to Altay Bayindir. Rainbow, I would love to do that, but it would be the last game that I ever broadcasted, because this channel will be shut down if I did that. So, yeah, apologies for that, but there's nothing I can do. Here is Ben White down the right-hand side. He's made a good run. He works it inside to Bukayo Saka. He switches it out to Gabriel Martinelli. This is a good move from Arsenal. Martinelli tried to roll it through the legs of the Man United defence there, and he rolled it straight at Altay Bayindir. It's a promising attack that comes to nothing. The referee just having a chat with the new Arsenal centre forward, Victor Gyökeres. Pressure here on Bayindir as the ball's in play now. Right to the left side. Man United trying that ping ball forward. Didn't find Cunha, but it's dropped for Fernandes. And Mount to swing the ball out to that right side again. And Mbeumo, lovely little first touch. He's got the overlap of Dalot. Dalot into the box. He's got no one in there. It's bouncing around. Oh, Arsenal clear it away, but I think he was offside anyway, Diogo Dalot. It was a good move, good opportunity. How far was he off? Well, Brandon Mbeumo, again, free in that right-hand side. Acres of space. And Dalot on the overlap, and he's just offside. It's not by much. It was a good move. It was the right move. It was just a little bit late, that ball from Brian and Mbumo, but again, Arsenal again looked sloppy trying to clear the ball, so they got lucky it was offside because it could have been more dangerous than it ended up being. Still Arsenal who lead by a goal to nil then here at Old Trafford. And Arsenal have scored in each of their last 12 Premier League away games against Man United, 15 in total, including the one they've scored here, having only managed to score in 10 of the first 22 visits to Old Trafford in the competition with 11 goals. So they're certainly more often than not finding the net when they come here in recent times. Good challenge there by Rice, but again Man United just about keep the ball, and Mount has worked it out to the left hand side here for Dorgu, but he's isolated on his own there, surrounded by Arsenal players, but somehow he's manoeuvred out of that tight space, and Fernandes whips the ball to Mbumo, who works the ball into the box towards Dorgu, cleared away by Ben White, and Saka up against Fernandes, trying to shield the ball here. Saka does have a hold of it for now, and does work it back to his centre back in William Saliba. And now Gabriel, almost on his own byline there, and as he tries to play it out, he's giving it away. Put it out for a Man United throw. Again, they're trying to play from the back, Arsenal, but they look really off it. They don't look like they've ever played with each other before, the way they're playing here with this back line. Man United putting pressure on them. And they've won it back here in the midfield though, Arsenal. Charging forward. That ball is going to be too much for Martin Odegaard. And Gabriel Martinelli, the one playing that pass. We did tell you we'd keep you up to date with that championship game between Hull City and Oxford United. It was 2-2 going into the very last few minutes. And in the end, Hull, for the third time, scored to take the lead. 93rd minute winner from Ollie McBurney, who set up both previous goals, and he scored the third. Great performance from him, and Hull have won by 3-2. Here come Manchester United again, down the left-hand side with Dorgu. Dorgu's going to have a go! He's hit the post! That was a great strike, but it comes cracking off the right upright and goes behind. That was a great opportunity for Patrick Dorgu. Again, look at the space wide. Where are the Arsenal fullbacks? They're non-existent. Bruno Fernandes plays it in. Dorgu's got the freedom of Old Trafford there, and time and space to measure the shot. Raya was scrambling, and it's a very good strike with his left foot, Dorgu, but it crashes off the post. Very good opportunity. But I gotta say, Arsenal look really vulnerable in the wide areas when Man United stride forward. And on that occasion, they very easily could have been pegged back there, Arsenal. Still, it remains 1-0. Man United very much performing at a high level. Look at this again. Look at the space. Mbumo up against his man. Rolls it around the corner for Dalot. Dalot across. Edge of the box. Oh, didn't really work out. His mount was well challenged on the edge of the D. But I'm going to say, Arsenal are really vulnerable. Very exposed in those wide areas. I think really open. Man United are trying every opportunity they can to exploit the openness of Arsenal defensively. Every given opportunity. Here's Matheus Cunha. We have some breaking news for you, some transfer news coming in, and that is that Newcastle have signed Jacob Ramsey in a deal worth up to £43 million. That's the big breaking transfer news. As Arsenal on the break here, Martin Odegaard rolls it through for Gyökeres on the right hand side. He works it back into the box. Martinelli tried the overhead kick. He's completely missed it, shall I say. That was a good opportunity there for Arsenal. Now Cunha trying to drive through a load of players, and he's got the bounce of the ball here. Matheus Cunha's in, and he's got a shot, but he's lost his balance, and he strikes it straight at David Raya. But the absolute endeavour of Mateus Cunha. He should never have got through there. 4 Arsenal players around him, and fantastically, maybe a slice of luck in getting the bounce of the ball, but he's charged through, and he was almost one-on-one with David Raya. He just lost his balance as he tried to measure the shot, and it was easily saved by the Arsenal keeper. His Arsenal come forward again. It's end-to-end at the minute. Saka. Edge of the box, Saka driving onto his left. Couldn't quite get his shot off. Odegaard works it back outside. White to lift the ball, but lifts it, and far too close to Altay Bayindir, who gathers. So a reminder for you, that breaking news: Newcastle have signed Jacob Ramsey from Aston Villa for a deal worth up to £43 million. Right. And finally, Newcastle get some more reinforcements to that forward line, and there was some talk I saw last night. They're eyeing up another player for Isak replacement. I couldn't quite figure out who that was. I can't remember at the minute. And Mbeumo sets it up. Cunha with another shot from distance, and another comfortable grab from David Raya. They're getting into good areas, that front two. The 2 new players, Brian Mbeumo and Mateus Cunha, they're creating issues for Arsenal. At this minute in time, Arsenal are keeping them at bay, but how long? Well, 7 shots for Man United, 3 on target. Arsenal 2 shots, 2 on target. So, and with less possession. One thing about Man United, they're taking them from further distance because they've only had 3 touches in the opposition box compared to Arsenal's 10. Odegaard flicking it over the top. Saka up against Shaw. Bukayo Saka just about battling. He's still got a hold of the ball somehow. Saka works it across. De Ligt to head it away. Only as far as Odegaard, who sends it flying into the air. Rice battling. And then it comes back to Gabriel and brought down by Saliba. Nice work here from Arsenal. Nice little jink away from Odegaard. He's going to have a go. Odegaard! And saved by Altay Bayindir. Not afraid to get the shots off, these two. Yeah, and good from Odegaard. He skips past the Casemiro challenge. He strides past his man easily, and then has the shot off with his right foot, or with his left foot, sorry, trying to find that bottom right corner. And it's comfortably gathered in the end by Altay Bayindir. Both goalkeepers are being asked questions by the opposing offences at the minute. 35 minutes gone. Man United 0, Arsenal 1. 10 minutes to go with the first half, and Arsenal have the advantage. Ricardo Calafiore's goal after 13 minutes is the difference. There's a roll ball in behind. Gyökeres making the run off the back of the defender, but he's offside. Straight offside there, Gyökeres. It's going to be a Man United free kick. Well, do get your votes in on the poll in the chat, by the way, because we have a poll up in there, and thinking you're telling us your match predictions. Let us know your match prediction, what you think's going to happen. So far, 68% believe that Man United will win, 24% say an Arsenal win, and just 7% say a draw. And the ball works back to Altay Bayindir again for Man United. Man United have looked a threat so far. Have looked promising. But are they able to turn that promise into a goal before half-time? Maybe to give Arsenal some half-time thinking. So far, keeping them at bay are Arsenal. Here's Mbeumo trying the cross, deflection. Allows Zubimendi to head it down for his captain Odegaard, who is set off on his tracks. He's got Martinelli to his left, his Saka to his right, and as he tries to play it through to Martinelli, he just overhits it there. And he's frustrated with himself there, Odegaard, because that was a decent opportunity. And now Arsenal have a bit of defending to do here, because here come Man United. Dorgu down the left-hand side. Fernandes playing it through to Mount. Mount right on the edge of the box. He's worked it through for Cunha. Cunha's got into a space, and the ball has just skimmed maybe a yard out. And David Raya, I think, maybe got a touch to that. That was a good opportunity. They've won it back again, Man United. Mbeumo. Now Fernandes. Cunha holding it up for his captain. Fernandes tried to have a shot. Blocked again. It's still around in there. And it's cleared away eventually by Arsenal. Very scrappy clearances from the Gunners at times. And they get out of that as Gyökeres was brought down further up the fields. See this moment again. Cunha makes a run round the back of Declan Rice. He gets the shot off, and it's a good left hand. Very strong left hand by Raya. Makes a very good save. That's wonderful. Really wonderful save. And denies Matheus Cunha a chance to get Man United on the score sheet there. Here's Calafiori. Arsenal coming down the right-hand side. Saka. Infield to Odegaard. Trying to work it in between the lines there, Arsenal, in the tight spaces that are in action. Rice. Odegaard. Down the right side comes Saka. Saka onto his left foot. Works it inside, finding Zubimendi, who lays it off to Odegaard. Odegaard lifting it into the box. Gyökeres was the target, couldn't quite find him. Well defended by United again, and Mbeumo takes the touch past Calafiori. And tries to take the touch past the backtracking Martinelli, I believe that was, and that's going to be a foul. And a free kick to Arsenal. As they waste no time in taking. They don't want to let this fizzle out. They want to keep pressure on Man United to the half. And maybe try and sneak a second goal if they could. That will be the target for Mikel Arteta's team at this minute in time. Saka is given the ball down the right. He's got a hold of it, and he's worked it off Dorgu to win a corner. So a corner to Arsenal, right hand side. Saka to take this corner, right hand side, left footed, it's low, it's at the front post, it's bounced away, it's Odegaard to take the half volley, and White will have a go. And that's well off target from the defender. Goal kick. Again, worth a hit, but not quite finding anywhere near the target. A reminder for you, we've one more game on the opening weekend to come for you. That's tomorrow night, as Leeds United's return to the Premier League sees them host David Moyes' Everton. That's tomorrow, 8 o'clock on LFS. Mep says the fact we are yapping at Hella proves that this match is going to be another snooze fest. Well, it's been very entertaining, I think. Both teams have been very good attacking wise. They're trying their things. I think Man United have worked well without actually really any end product so far. Just need to find that goal, but they've done everything else right, in my opinion. The only reason there's a goal in this game is because of a set piece. It's a very close battle, and Calafiori's going to get a yellow card there for a pull on Brian Mbeumo. Long kick by Fernandes. Cunha was trying to be the target, but Arsenal again deal with it. One back by Man United. Lovely little reverse flick there by De Ligt round the corner. It's got a chance for Dorgu. Again, there's no one in the middle for Man United. Picked up by Mount. Dorgu again. And he has to go backwards this time to Shaw. But again, they're getting the ball into good areas, Man United. Really good areas. That's an opportunity, and that's well cleared out by Ben White. Casemiro. Yoro. Inside to Casemiro. He's going to force it forward. He's got it into Mason Mount. Has to go wide. Then works it into Cunha. Cunha back to Mount. Mount on the half turn. Shot blocked again. With Arsenal bodies smothering the space that Mason Mount tried to occupy. Again there. Ever perseverance, Man United. It's one thing about them in this first half I've been very impressed by is their perseverance, their determination to, if one doesn't work, not get too kind of annoyed by it, just keep going, keep churning it out, and their work rate so far in this first half has been quite impressive. That's a switch ball. Out to Dalot. Has to work it back again to De Ligt. Shaw. Wide. Goes by Mount. Worked. Switched across again to Brown and Burmo. Again. Works down that right hand side. Skips past his man. Tries to stand one up into the box. And Mount did well actually to keep that in play. But the overhead is into the hands of David Raya. Yeah, it had gone past the goal. It was at the back post. It was going beyond and looked like it was going to go out. And Mason Mount somehow flicked it back in. And in the end, it did come to David Raya. But that's what I mean. They're not giving up on any ball at the minute, Man United. Oh, that's a loose back pass, that is. Gyökeres intercepting from De Ligt. He tried to feed in Saka, who was well seen all the way. And that goes all the way back to Altay Bayindir. So loose back pass, that from Man United. Those are still the worrying factors for them. Maybe that midfield still needs a bit of reinforcement. And 45 minutes has surpassed, and we will have just a single additional minute at the end of this first half. Saka battling well. Wins the ball. Zubimendi lays it off to Ødegaard. And defence turns into attack for Arsenal. He's rolled it in behind for Gyökeres. He goes to that right side again. Gyökeres pinging it back the way, but he's massively overhit that. Far too far. And it goes out for a Man United throw on the near side. Well, one thing about Victor Gyökeres, when he makes those runs inside, he always went to the right in this first half. He's always drifted out to the right-hand channel, which is interesting. Throw in for Man United here. That might round off the half in a second. Long throw into the box, or into the middle. Cunha takes it down, and just when they think they're going to be on the attack there, United, the whistle blows from Simon Hooper. And the additional minute is up, and the first half is up as well. A first half that was closely fought, really, here at Old Trafford. Man United have probably been the more promising side in the early stages. They started the better, they looked the more comfortable, but again, set piece undoing them. A good delivery by Rice, a flick on at the near post. Bayindir couldn't do nothing about it. He was really scrambling to keep it, but he was smothered, and Calafiori knocked it in at the back post. That's the difference here at Old Trafford. Man United 0, Arsenal 1 at the break. Sure, one last kick. This is gonna be it. This is the moment. Vicario kicks this, and Liverpool are there. Liverpool are Premier League champions, and there it comes. Crystal Palace, for the very first time in their history, are FA Cup winners. Oh, he's found the net. Oh, what a goal! Kvaratskhelia is through, wants to add a fourth, and does so. Ahmad, oh my goodness me! That is absolutely unbelievable! Rice again. Oh! You thought he couldn't beat the first one. He's gone and bettered it. Another whip ball in. The header is in by Virgil van Dijk. Incredible. Welcome back to Premier League Live. Half-time at Old Trafford. It is Man United 0, Arsenal 1. Ricardo Calafiori's header from a corner is the difference between the two sides at the break. And there were a couple of good chances for both teams. I think Man United, I have to say, they have looked really fluid in going forward. They've looked bright. And I got to say, there's a lot of positives to take from that first half for Man United. Despite being 1-0 down, there is a lot of positives, I have to say, for them. But if we go right back to the very start, it was a very good settle. They settled really well, really quickly, Manchester United. They came into the game, they started the game off well, they got a couple of fouls, they were really testing Arsenal physically in the first few minutes. They settled well into the game, they were getting the ball forward nicely, they were getting a couple of corners early on as well, testing Arsenal's defence in the early moments. And they were settling into the game. And then Arsenal get a corner up the other end, and they score directly from that, or they score from that corner. Good delivery by Rice. It's one of those typical Declan Rice deep deliveries, very close to the keeper, a very crowded 6-yard box. Altay Bayindir, if I'm honest, doesn't do enough. If you're going to come for the ball, take the man out, do whatever you need to do to get to that ball. He's far too easily muscled off the ball by William Saliba. He does get his hand to it by India, but he doesn't do enough to get it away from goal. Saliba does well putting pressure on him, and then at the back post, heading in and knocking it in, was Ricardo Calafiori at the back post. And it's something that undone Man United a lot of times last season, certainly against Arsenal, when they played them, and it was the undoing of them again in that first half. And I think before and after the goal, Man United have played really, really well. But it's that one moment that can make the difference. And in the big games, it will make the difference. And especially with Arsenal knowing how good they are and how good they were at set pieces at times last season. And that is what gets them the goal in the first half. But other than that, from open play, they've had a few half chances. Arsenal, Saka's had a shot. Odegaard's had a shot or two. There's been nothing of crazy note that Altay Bayindir's had to do other than the corner. So I think in open play, Man United have defended quite well, kept Arsenal to more half chances rather than anything really dangerous at all. In terms of Man United though, in open play, Arsenal have been sloppy defensively, Arsenal have been open defensively, and I think it will be a worry for Mikel Arteta that his team were giving up so many chances, albeit they haven't conceded. But they have given up quite a number of chances in that first half, Arsenal, and a lot in wide areas. They're getting the ball, Man United, in the wide areas. Dorgu's making the runs down the left-hand side and really, really, really heavily involved. Oh, we have a half-time interview. We were told these are new things that are going to happen. Martin Odegaard, a half-time interview. But down the left-hand side, Dorgu's been making those runs. Mount has been playing those balls down that left-hand side. That's where they've threatened down that side. But on the right-hand side, when Calafiori has drifted into the middle, it's left a gaping hole down that left-hand side. And it's one that Brian Mbeumo is doing this. He's rubbing his hands together. He's loving it. He's got all the space in the world down that right-hand side, and the many times he's been played in down that side with a switch ball for Man United when Arsenal look really open down that side. He probably should have scored, or at least probably should have done a lot more that he's done that down that side. He's made some good runs, he's made some good moves, but he just hasn't had that end product just yet. But I gotta say, the two Man United, the new signings from Man United, Brandon Bomo and Matheus Cunha, who both came from Premier League clubs, so they know the league for the last few years. They've succeeded in the league. It's very good recruitment strategy from United to recruit the tried and tested in the Premier League, and they've performed really well. Matheus Cunha and Brandon Bomo in that first half, they've looked really bright, looked really offensively astute, really strong, really attacking, really kind of aggressive in the right areas and all over Arsenal at times. And I gotta say, Arsenal's defence, their back four, when they're playing out from the back, David Raya got caught once in that first half where he was trying to do little jinks around the man. Just end that shit, will you? Just stop that rubbish. But even when they played out from the back, I have no problem with the team playing out from the back, but they were looked really under pressure. Man United pressing them really high, and Arsenal just not clicking in those moments, and that's when you can get caught out. So it's about knowing the difference of when to play it from the back, but also when to just get rid of the ball, get it up the field, and then move forward from there. That's where the balance needs to be found from Arsenal. But again, no damage has been done in terms of the scoreline for them defensively, but I'd say there will be a worry from Mikel Arteta at half-time that his team have given up quite a number of chances in those areas. But again, all that matters at the minute is that they're leading by a goal to nil, and it comes from a set piece. It's Man United again getting smothered into their own box. Bayindir isn't strong enough, in my opinion. I am one, and if you've been watching this channel before and if you've watched it last season, I am an advocate for goalkeepers are too overprotected. Yes, if they're fouled, of course, give a free kick, definitely. But not every single contact on a goalkeeper is a foul. And that is great from the referee. Doesn't see a foul. Saliba does really well, and then he pressures him, but he doesn't foul him. He makes sure that he leaves him enough room to go for the ball, but he also puts enough pressure on him that he can't get enough of a clean connection to clear the ball. It's very, very smart. And then Calafiori at the back post does well to head it in. But I think overall, a lot of positives for Man United to take with Ruben Amorim and his team. They've attacked really well. They've attacked in the right areas. They've moved the ball nicely. They've looked comfortable in out of possession in open play. They've defended really well in open play. I think all of that combination is all good. It's just the goal that's missing, and a big save from David Raya, of course, that we saw towards the end of the first half with Matheus Cunha's shot from literally about a yard out from a narrow angle. It almost found its way through, but a great save by David Raya directed it away. But that's the closest Man United have come. But that's all that's missing at the minute from Man United's performance is a goal. Arsenal have played okay. They've stopped at times, but they've also moved nicely in transition to get forward. But open play is where Arsenal seem to need to improve in a number of areas. So, yeah, there's a lot more to come from Arsenal, I suspect, in this game. But so far, so good for Man United in terms of the way they've played. But the scoreline is in Arsenal's favour. So what do you do there? Let's recap what we've already seen this weekend so far quickly at half-time. Liverpool 4-2 winners against Bournemouth. Champions back with a win. Aston Villa 0, Newcastle 0. Lunchtime game yesterday. Villa down to 10 for a vast majority of the second half, but Newcastle too couldn't take advantage of Ezri Konsa's dismissal. Brighton 1-1 against Fulham, but that wasn't the full story because Fulham scored in the 96th minute with Rodrigo Muniz off the bench to score a late equaliser. It was comfort for Sunderland on their return to the Premier League after 8 years, thumping West Ham by 3-0 at the Stadium of Lights. The same scoreline was felt in North London and a new era for Tottenham under Thomas Frank as they beat Burnley by the same scoreline that Sunderland beat West Ham, 3-0. Even better for Man City on their 9th consecutive opening game away from home in the Premier League. They thumped Wolves 4-0. Erling Haaland on the brace and goals from debutants Tiani Reinders and of course Ryan Cherky to make it 4. Nottingham Forest made easy work of Brentford in the first half of that game earlier this afternoon. 3 goals in the first half, 2 from Chris Wood, the other from new signing Dan Ndoye to make it 3. And Brentford got a late consolation penalty. Igor Thiago scoring that penalty. late. And another 0-0 draw that we've witnessed this weekend. Chelsea against Crystal Palace in that London derby. Chelsea a little bit toothless up front in that first half, in that game. Only 3 shots on target from 19 total shots. Not really testing Palace, but I gotta say, Palace defended so well, so resolutely. They had a free kick disallowed, Crystal Palace, for one of their players being within a metre of the defending wall. That's why it was disallowed, and that is what saw that game finish 0-0. And at half-time at Old Trafford, it's Man United 0, Arsenal 1. Right, the second half between those two teams that I've just mentioned is on the way very shortly at Old Trafford. But don't forget, though, one more game to round off the opening weekend of the Premier League, a 6th and final opening game, and that sees Leeds United, newly promoted Leeds, looking to hope that they can join Sunderland in newly promoted sides that win on the opening weekend, but they have a tough task in David Moyes' rigid Everton, who come to Elland Road. That's tomorrow, 8 o'clock on LFS. Right, second half at Old Trafford on the way next. Do stay with us. Sure, one last kick. This is going to be it. This is the moment. Vicario kicks this. And Liverpool are there. Liverpool are Premier League champions. And there it comes. Crystal Palace, for the very first time in their history, are FA Cup winners. Oh, he's found the net. Oh, what a goal! Kvaratskhelia is through, wants to add a 4th, and does so. Ahmad, oh my goodness me! That is absolutely unbelievable. Rice again. Oh! You thought he couldn't beat the first one. He's gone and bettered it. Another whip ball in. The header is in by Virgil van Dijk. Incredible. Welcome back to Premier League Live. Half-time at Old Trafford. It is Arsenal who lead by a goal to 0. But let's take another quick look at the player v player that we did a bit earlier on. This is the two centre forwards that they've signed. Arsenal's on the left, Man United's on the right, as you can see from their new kits, of course. Victor Gyökeres scored 39 goals in the league last season in Portugal to Benjamin Šeško's 13 he scored for RB Leipzig, but that's a good return for an RB Leipzig side who were in the battle for Champions League last year. Both outperformed their XG. Look at that from Victor Gyökeres again, 30.95 XG, and scored 39 goals. Scored every 72 minutes for his appearances last season in Portugal. 185 minutes for Benjamin Šeško. That's still a very good return, 185 minutes. That's one every 2 games on average, which is still a very good outcome. In terms of assists, both got assists on the board, 7-5. They both created some big chances, 5 for Benjamin Šeško of the season, 11 by Gyökeres. So they've got that dynamic nature where they can set up chances as well for their teammates. They missed big chances, but that's what comes with strikers. 23 for Gyökeres and 10 for Šeško. But when it comes to penalties, they both have a 100% conversion rate, albeit Gyökeres scored 12 out of 12, only Šeško 2 out of 2. So Šeško's numbers in comparison are a lot lower, but if you look at them in terms of comparing them to their minutes and to the teams they were playing for, Gyökeres was playing for a team who were going for the title in that one, and RB Leipzig's Benjamin Šeško was performing in a team that at a level he should be performing at, in a team that was where they were in the Bundesliga in RB Leipzig last season. So very exciting from both centre forwards, and hopefully we'll see them both in the second half. Of course, Gyökeres did start the game for Man United, or sorry, for Arsenal, apologies. Benjamin Šeško, there he is on the Man United bench. Will we see him at some point? I would err on the side of yes, we will, but we'll find out as we're about to get underway then Man United attacking the Stretford end in the second half. Hoping that Stretford end can help them find a way back into this game as we get back underway for the first top tier game of the weekend, the first top tier fixture of the new season. And these two so closely fought over the years, and they're so closely fought so far in this game, just the one goal that separates them. And of course, as we know, Man United endured their worst ever Premier League season last season, finishing 15th, alongside losing that Europa League final to Tottenham. Well, that's a nice grab there from Zubimendi. Right wide it comes here for Arsenal. Chipped into the box there by Odegaard and almost found Rice. It was cleared away. All the way back to Zubimendi will retrieve for the Gunners. And well, this is Arsenal's 100th consecutive season in the top flight of English football. That's the longest run of any side. 1925, the last time. 1924, sorry, the last time they were in another division. And as I said, the longest of any side in England. Well, Arsenal do have a good record in opening games of the season. They've won 5 of the last 6 on the opening day, including each of the last 3. And they lost just one of those other 6 on the opening day. And the last time they had a longer run of opening day wins was when they were battling for the title once again in 2001-2 to 2005-6, 5 years in a row where they won the opening game. And of course, one of those years they went invincible. Did Arsenal, of course. Here is David Raya. Odegaard. Deeper. Gabriel back to David Raya again. Man United press them in, but Raya goes long. Cut out by De Ligt, and De Ligt is going to get a free kick for a pullback there from Viktor Gyökeres. Thank you everybody for watching. Welcome back, Rainbow. Thank you very much for staying with us. It's great to have you all with us here this afternoon for this one. Dorgu, Mount, back around the corner to Dorgu, down that that left-hand channel. All blocked out there by Zubimendi, who stepped across to do a bit of defending. Fernandes. Back to De Ligt. Now Euro. Casemiro swinging the ball out to the left side for Dorgu. Space is there again. Plays it inside to Shaw. Back to Dorgu. Now lays it on. Nice 1-2 with Shaw. Luke Shaw looking for the cutback. The shot from Mount. Deflected. Mount tries to keep it alive. It might have took a touch there from an Arsenal defender. It didn't. Goal kick. Mason Mount there getting in a good area. Almost creating something of note there against Arsenal. Long kick there by Raya. Good tussle there at the back, and Arsenal get it back. Gyökeres does well to lay it off to Odegaard, and Saka linking up. Odegaard trying down the right channel to Saka again. Squeezed out by Luke Shaw and Bruno Fernandes on that side. Will be a Man United throw. Even in those 50-50 battles, that's where I've also been impressed with Man United. Their physicality today. You know, we talked a lot last season about how they were really hopeless in their physical battles. They've actually won more ground duels and the more aerial duels in this game than Arsenal, so they're dominating that area of the field and that area of the game. It is so important to garnering a little bit of control. Zubimendi swinging it, switching it into Odegaard. Odegaard over the top, but wasn't on the same page as Gyökeres there, who tried to come deep. And the ball bobbles through for Altay by Indir. trying to play out there, and the ball did go out of play. Just they thought they kept it in with Mason Mount, but it just crossed the sideline. Well, gotta say, Man United, that new front line, those new signings, they aren't the be all and end all. They won't get them winning trophies all the time, but it's a start, and it's a very good start, I think, in trying to rebuild this Man United team. And I think they will be competing in Europe this year. I think they will be competing for Europe, sorry, in the league this year. I think I have them around about 6th, I think. I have Man United finishing 6th or 7th, then and around that area. Euro. Down the right. Burmo plays it infield, but it's lost there by Casemiro, and that allows Arsenal to play it in behind here. Here's a run for Gyökeres. Oh, he just almost lost the ball there, and he's put himself off, and the momentum has been lost. And as he tries to win it back, he gives away a free kick. He was in a good area, he was doing everything right, Victor Gyökeres. And then somehow the ball wouldn't come with him, and that completely stifled his momentum. And in the end, he tried to win it back and gives away a free kick. Long kick forward by Indir. And the header by Matheus Cunha was won, but he was bundled over by Gabriel, and he was also trying to win that ball. And it's going to be a Man United free kick. Oh, given away cheaply by Casemiro again. A couple of those sloppy passes from Casemiro, but he stopped there by Luke Shaw down the left. All the way back here for Arsenal. Difficult area. Calafiori pings one forward, but right into the space for Fernandes. Now Cunha. Bruno Fernandes again, out to the right-hand side. Comes in Burmo. Rolls it in behind. Fernandes trying to stride for it, and he's a bit late in trying to get to it. And Gabriel is taken out, and that's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. Yeah, no question about that. He's the right to go for the ball, Bruno Fernandes, but he just hits his man too late. He slides in, and when you're sliding in and committed, you either have to win the ball or get no contact with a man. Either or, but not both. And that's definitely a foul. There's the England boss, Thomas Tuchel, watching on. Long kick by Arsenal, and they won the first ball. They thought they'd brought the second ball down, but trying to do that. Casemiro's been fouled in there somewhere, and that's going to get Man United a free kick. So let's start this game in the second half. I mean, there's very little in that. And slightly caught by Declan Rice there, Casemiro, but I mean, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, if I'm honest. And it looks like they might be eyeing up some adjustments coming here in a minute. Man United. It's a good stop. Good block there by Saka. On the forward ball attempt by Luke Shaw. So these changes coming then for Man United. It's going to see number 2, Diogo Dalot, going to be replaced by Ahmad. So Ahmad will turn into the right wing back for Man United. Get them some forward momentum down that right side. Youngster, bright star. Scored the late winner in the Manchester Derby last year. The Etihad, did Ahmad. They were going to make another change. Did they make another change? It hasn't come up on my screen that they've made another change, but not that I could see. It looked like it might have been another idea, but not just yet. So Ahmad is on for Dalot. That's a good out ball by Indir, and it's sent on. And Burmo chasing for the ball. He was well held. It's a good battle. The ball's still alive. Referee says play on. That was, well, good decision by the referee there to let it play. Nice little step in by Shaw to disrupt Arsenal again. And Cunha sends it chasing down the left hand side. He's got the better of Saliba. Cunha under pressure, battling the two. Cunha comes out on top and he's being well held there by William Saliba. And that's going to get Man United a free kick high up on this left hand side. Really good from Matheus Cunha. I gotta say, Brandon Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha are causing all sorts of problems to the Arsenal defence. They are struggling to deal with them at the minute. Really struggling to deal with them. And this free kick then. Wide left, Bruno Fernandes over it. What can he offer? Fernandes, right footed. Oh! Good save by Raya. His hand came out of nowhere there. Looked like it was going all the way in. Here's Ahmad. Nice little turn. Rolls it round the corner. Dorgu. Really stumbled there a little bit. Ahmad. Back to Mbeumo now, out wide to Dorgu, right hand side. Body still in the box for Man United from this free kick that they took. Cunha linking up with Mbeumo. Cunha rolls it back to Dorgu, who lifts one, and Fernandes couldn't keep it in play. It's just too far from Patrick Dorgu, but it was a nice idea. They're working it well, Man United. It's just that final ball that's let them down again. They're doing the right things. It's good work there from David Raya to claw that one away. His arm came from nowhere. It looked like it was going to go in from Bruno Fernandes. And it's a very strong right hand from David Raya to claw it away. Arsenal going to get the throw in down the left here. And Saka was brought down. The referee says no foul. Mikel Arteta's not too happy. He felt it was a foul. And he shakes hands with Luke Shaw there and having a smile with each other, but plays on. Well, I gotta say, Mikel Arteta, he does a lot of dandering about down there and a lot of movement. Ooh, Ian Deere just gets to that ball that was played back to him, thumps it forward. Nicely won there by the Arsenal defence, but the second ball again was a little bit loose and it was guided back to Raya by Zubamendi. Raya, lovely forward ball towards Ødegaard. Lifts it over the top for Saka. Did he stay onside? Flag stayed down and De Ligt just ushers him out of the way. That's not a foul. He ushers him out of the way. And that's good defending by Matthijs De Ligt. It's definitely not a foul. Casemiro. Nice play. Spreads it to the right hand side. And Man United are in business here. Bryan Mbeumo down the right side. He's completely muzzled it. That's a terrible ball. Good idea. Good area. Terrible execution. That's where Man United have struggled. But I gotta say, it's not been all Arsenal's way. Yes, they might still lead 1-0, but they're going to need a second goal if they're going to have a bit of comfort in this game, certainly. Here they're trying to create one. Here's a shot over the bar by Rice. Trying to get tricky in and around the box there, Arsenal. Now they're going to make a double change. It's going to see Kai Havertz going to replace the new centre-forward, Victor Gyökeres. So we're not going to see the two new signings, the two new strikers for these two on the pitch at the same time, because Gyökeres is going to come off and be replaced by Kai Havertz. And Noni Madueke is going to be coming on. And he's going to replace Gabriel Martinelli. So two of the Arsenal front three are being swapped out. And Havertz and Madueke on for Gyökeres and Martinelli. So one new signing comes off, another new signing comes on. Noni Madueke joined Arsenal from Chelsea, of course, which you've seen those two clubs do a lot of business over the last number of years. £47.9 million is the reported fee. that Noni Madueke has been brought to Arsenal for after 2 years after Chelsea signed him for £30 million, so they've made a good profit of that, Chelsea. But the 23-year-old, now an Arsenal player. And played in 2 pre-season games for the Gunners in Villarreal and Athletic Club. The 3-2 defeat to Villarreal and the 3-0 win over Athletic Club at the Emirates last week. Already got some minutes under his belt in Arsenal colours. Here's Luke Shaw as we surpass the hour mark here inside Old Trafford. Man United 0, Arsenal 1. Man United have pushed and probed without any penetration at the minute, without any end product. Arsenal, their only end product came from a corner. So from open play, they've looked a little bit lacking, shall we say, in the final third. But let's see what the final half an hour delivers for us, as that's going to be a foul. Kai Havertz into the action, already giving away a foul. So a free kick to Man United. Amaz trying to make hard work of Ricardo Calafiori. He's on a yellow card, so has to be careful, Calafiori, and how much physicality he shows. Luke Shaw back to Mount, who's deeper than he was in the first half, I should say. Plays it right through to Dorgu, who's taking up an inside role. Lovely little link up. Cunha couldn't quite find his marker, and despite Mbomo's attempts, he couldn't win it back. And now Arsenal try and spring forward here with Kai Havertz. He's not got many room to find the options that are chasing forward in Rice and Saka, and he's well cut out and stopped eventually by Manchester United. Not looking blistering in transition, are Arsenal. They look a little bit lost for ideas when they're in transition. Unless it goes to Odegaard, they just really don't know what to do, their forwards, whenever they get into transitional areas against Man United. There's a long ball forward. Dorgu gets his head to it, and it goes out for a throw-in. Man United are going to make another change, and they're going to make it in midfield. Manuel Ugarte is ready and waiting to enter the fray. Odegaard out to the right side. Saka with space. We've not seen him very much in the game, Saka, with space down this right, but here he goes, and he works the ball towards the box. Low and hard across, but it's dealt with well by Yoro. Man United in no hurry to get rid of it. They're comfortable at just passing it around. And that's beautiful combinations. And now down the left, here comes Mount, who's trying to swing it round the back. But Calafiori has that one well under control. And it's headed back to Raya. As they move the ball quickly, Arsenal getting it forward again. It's end to end, this. That's what I say. The next goal is going to be crucial. Most certainly. But I couldn't for the life of me tell you who's going to get that next goal. Saka. Odegaard. Back to Bukayo Saka, who's drifted infield, linking up with Havertz. Nice work. Havertz lays it out to the right, to the left side. Here's Noni Madueke. Cuts it back for Rice, who had a go. Blocked there by De Ligt. That was better from Arsenal. It's better play, and they're going to make a double sub here, Man United. So Manuel Ugarte's coming on, but the new man, Benjamin Šeško, is going to join him. So Mason Mount and Casemiro are going to be the two that are making way. Casemiro off for Ugarte, and Mount off for Šeško. So the new look front three of Man United are now playing together. Bryan Mbeumo, Matheus Cunha, and Benjamin Šeško. Calafiori to take the throw down the left here. Well, Benjamin Šeško got 13 league goals last season. None of Man United's players got a league goals into double figures last year. Their highest scorer was Ahmad, along with Bruno Fernandes, I believe, that both got 8. So it's a much-needed addition to the Man United squad. It's a centre-forward who can produce goals. As I said already, Bryan Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha both got double figures Premier League goals last season, 35 combined. So they're adding goals galore to this team, Man United. But so far, they're yet to find the net in this one. And neither side have had a shot on target in the second half. To this point, Man United have continued to have more possession. Haven't been able to have a shot on target yet in this second period, and neither have Arsenal. So both defences have actually kind of closed up and solidified a little bit more. Charlie says, how long's left? There's 25 minutes left of this game. 24 plus the additional time. Still a lot of time for anything to change. Long ball forward there from the Man United defence. Again, not finding a target, as it's just recycled back by Manchester United. De Ligt. Dorgu. Ahmad. Mbeumo couldn't quite keep it. And that one is kept in by Noni Madueke, but stolen away by Ahmad. And now Mbeumo. Ahmad back to Mbeumo. Down the right side for Man United. Works it back inside to Ahmad again. He's picked up a good space. Going to try and work it across the box. It's half cleared by Zubimendi, but some calls a handball there from the crowd at the Stratford end. The referee, Simon Hooper, doesn't see anything. Man United continue to keep a hold of the ball. They need that equalising goal. We'll fire them right back into this contest. Here's Luke Shaw. Down the left side to Cunha. Cunha, nice little touch. Plays it inside to Dorgu. Made that run again, but stifled out by Arsenal and smothered away. Noni Madueke, no room to manoeuvre, and he's going to get the free kick there, which I think was a little bit soft. A little bit soft, if I'm honest. But he gets the free kick. Nonetheless, a quarter of the game remains. Well, Man United have won 99 of the 243 previous meetings against Arsenal in all competitions. Drawn 55 and lost 89. They've only beaten Aston Villa more times, with 107 wins. But they would be the first ever team to beat the Gunners 100 times if they are to win this tonight. That would be their 100th win in all comps against Arsenal. And as I said, that will be the first team to ever do that to Arsenal. There's a lovely little touch around the man there from Matheus Cunha. He's showing us all the tricks and he's bursting away here. He's got the pace and he finds it through to Bryan Mbeumo. Can the two new signings link up? Ahmad tries to get involved in Mbeumo again. And Arsenal scramble it away. Somehow. Fabulous from Matheus Cunha in that build-up. Now they're still alive here. Man United overhead kick is gone wide from Bryan Mbeumo. I have to say, as Premier League debuts go, without scoring, without assisting at the minute, Bryan Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha's performances have been top quality. Everything Man United are creating is coming through those two. And they have been very impressive going forward, but they just, again, that end product isn't there. And Ahmad just took it off the feet of Mbeumo. And then Mbeumo got it back when Ahmad lost it. And Arsenal threw bodies everywhere at the ball. And in the end, overhead kick from Mbeumo a few seconds later goes wide of the post. And White is still down at the minute, so he's going to have to get some treatment. Well, this is just the second time in English football history that Man United are hosting Arsenal on the first game of the season. They previously met in 1989-90 season, and Man United won 4-1 on that occasion. So far, they haven't scored any here this afternoon. Just in conversation there, Matheus Cunha and Odegaard with the referee. Looks like Arsenal are going to go to their bench once more. Well, Arsenal are unbeaten in their last 14 Premier League away games since a 1-0 loss to Newcastle in November 2024. They've won 7 and drawn 7 of those 14. So they have a very good away record. And it looks like with 20 minutes to go, that away record might be extending here this afternoon. And of course, we know Victor Gyökeres was playing against his former manager at Sporting, Ruben Amorim, of course. And he has gone off without really any impact. As Arsenal, as I said, making some changes, a double change incoming, and the goal scorer Ricardo Calafiori is coming off. Miles Lewis-Skelly's taken his place, and Jurrien Timber has come on to replace Ben White. So both fullbacks for Arsenal swapped out for fresh legs of Jurrien Timber and Miles Lewis-Skelly. One man who doesn't look particularly comfortable is Mikel Arteta, who looks a little bit worried out there. But his team are still winning. Quantum says, and Burma was in my fantasy team, so I'm praying. Who have I got in my fantasy team for this one? I've David Raya in my fantasy team. I know that much. Hold on a second. Here is Cunha. Or not Cunha, sorry. Wrong bloody team. That's good defending by Patrick Dorgu. Back there. Arsenal were on the attack. I had Gyökeres and Raya in this one. Gyökeres got 1 point for obviously playing the minutes that he played. Raya at the minute would be getting 7 points because he, as it stands, would be keeping a clean sheet. And he's made a couple of saves. He's made 4 saves, which gets him an extra point as well as the minutes played. So Raya's getting me some good points at the minute. Quantum says Raya was good for me, as in my league I went from 16th to 8th. So yeah, David Raya is a very good pick for goalkeepers. And you think Arsenal are going to keep many clean sheets this season? Actually, either goalkeeper I would have picked would have been good. Dean Henderson I had as well, my other goalkeeper. Oh, Dorgu's ball in. I might have talked about it, might have scuttled it. Oh, and Burmo forces a good save out of David Raya. It's a good header. They kept it alive here. Fernandez. And again, Šeško, whose effort's off target. Again, the opportunities are there. They're not finding the end product just yet. That was better from Brandon Burmo. Good ball out wide. Dorgu just stands it up to the into the box, and Brandon Burmo gets up there, gets his head to it, and makes a good header. Down into the ground, it bounces up, and David Raya can parry it away, but that was good play again for Manchester United. And if anything, it's Man United that are pushing for a goal rather than Arsenal pushing for a second. Quando says, what do you think about United long term this year with signings? I was saying this a little earlier. I think the changing of that front three, Benjamin Šeško, Brandon Burmo and Matheus Cunha. Cunha and Burmo have played incredibly today. It's just they haven't found the net. They've done everything right. Their touches, their movement, their passes, their play, everything has been perfect. It's just they've not found the net, either of them, or haven't helped find the net, either getting assists. So that's the only letdown. But I think overall, you know, the 3 signings, Šeško, Cunha and Mbeumo, if we count up the league goals of them last season, a total of 48 league goals between those 3 players last season for their respective clubs before they joined Man United. If they add anything anywhere near that, they will be doing a very good job, and Man United will be in a very good place. I think they will be competing for European football. I think they'll be in that battle, that cluster of teams, you know, your Villas, your Brightons, your the etc. Newcastle's in and around that battle. I think top 6 is attainable for Man United if these players come off and play well, and maybe add a midfielder in there before the window closes. I think they could be in a good position, but they need to add goals, and so far they've done everything but add goals here today, but they've had many's a chance to, and certainly created enough. And now they've won it back again. Nicely won by Cunha. Ugarte lays it off to Ahmad, or Cunha, sorry, down the left, and Dorgu was in the mix as well, but Arsenal get it away. Ødegaard lays it off. Timber was involved there, linking it up with Havertz, and Timber got the ball and was seen out by Matthijs de Ligt, but it will be an Arsenal throw with less than 15 minutes to go. Arsenal still lead Man United by a goal to nil here at Old Trafford. We'll see if they can hold on to get the win. Man United beat Aston Villa in their final game of last season, but they went the whole campaign without winning consecutive league matches. They last won consecutive league matches when they beat Fulham 1-0 on match day 1 last season, having won their final 2 games of 23-24. So they haven't won consecutive games since this time last year. Man United, something they know they're going to need to improve on. And if they win here this evening, that would be the case. Let's see what they can deliver in these final quarter of an hour or so. Ugarte does well to pick it up. Down the right hand side comes Ahmad. Diallo steps inside, left footed, going low, and he's left a lot on that for David Raya to just gather up. Well, in terms of starting seasons, Man United are strong starters, and they also always seem to start at home. This is the 9th consecutive season that Man United have opened their new campaign at home, and in terms of winning their opening match, they've won the opening game more often than any other team in Premier League history. 22 opening game wins. That is the best win rate of any side on match day 1. Of any side that has played more than one season in the Premier League, and a 67% win rate on the opening day, Man United. But this might just be the 33% of the time where they don't win in the opening game of the season. That's where we stand at the minute. Here is Ahmad taking on his man, gets past Madueke. Ahmad into the box, a bit of a back heel, didn't quite work out. Šeško tries to release it, couldn't quite find a teammate. Lovely little spin there by Cunha. Shaw, they're really pushing now, United. Shaw's delivery too close to Raya, and there's calls that maybe Miles Lewis-Skelly committed a foul on Ahmad there. The referee sees no issue. Arsenal cannot get out at the moment. They've given it away again. Cunha, Ugarte, the crowd, the Stretford end, trying to drag the ball into the net here. Here's Ahmad again, down, up against Miles Lewis-Skelly. 2 youngsters. Ahmad comes out the better this time. Linking up with Mbeumo, and he couldn't get the return ball there. Mbeumo to Ahmad. And it's cleared away by Arsenal once more. They are struggling, Arsenal. Man United are trying their ever best to find the net here. Fernandes lobbing it forward, but nowhere near it. Over the top, goal kick. Well, Bruno Fernandes was the only Man United player to score at home against the top six opponent last season, including a free kick goal against Arsenal in their meeting here. As Man United are going to go to the bench again. Harry Maguire is coming on, and he's coming on to replace Luke Shaw, so a more natural centre-back in that back three for the final 10 minutes or so, just to make sure that when Man United are pushing forward, they're not more vulnerable at the back. That can be the case when you're pushing for a goal late on. You can make yourself more open to counter-attacks. Quantum says, I'm going to a United game in November. Excited for Sheshko and Mbomo. Well, that's good for you. Good luck. Hopefully you get a good game out of it. So far it's been a good goal. That's terrible. Ugarte's giving it away cheaply. Havertz trying to get past his man and was absolutely bodied there by Harry Maguire in his first bit of defending of the game. And he's given away a free kick to Kai Havertz and Arsenal. Yeah, I don't know where Ugarte's going. He's just played it back to who he was thinking was going to be a centre-back. Turned out to be Kai Havertz. Very sloppy. And Harry Maguire had no choice but to stop Kai Havertz. He certainly wasn't going to let him get past him. And it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. Right about the edge of the box. 20 yards, 21 yards. To the right-hand side. Rice and Ødegaard over this free kick. We saw Declan Rice score some sumptuous free kicks in the Champions League last year. Martin Ødegaard, what can he produce? It benefits the left footer. What can they offer here? Four-man wall for Man United. There's two Arsenal players in front of it. Simon Hooper says they're too close. And referees adjusted that, sorted that out. And now they will be ready to take this free kick. Arsenal. A goal here and the game is surely done. It's Declan Rice trying to sneak it into that bottom right corner. It's taking a deflection. It will go for a corner. Yeah, he did well there, Rice. Low, round the wall. It was curling back and it took a touch off a Man United player. And it goes wide for the corner. And another Arsenal change coming. It's going to be their final change of the game then. Their fifth and final alteration. It's going to see Mikel Merino coming on. And Declan Rice is going to be coming off. So Declan Rice's free kick was his last involvement in the game. And Mikel Merino on. He scored some goals as the auxiliary centre-forward for Arsenal last year. Can he help out in trying to carry them over the line here at Old Trafford? Saka to take this corner. On the right-hand side. Left-footed delivery, Saka. Back post. Arsenal kept it alive. They got some sort of header to it, but it's cleared away. And as they try and win it back with Urian Timber. There's going to be a foul given against Arsenal here. So Man United deep in their own half of a free kick. 7 minutes of normal time to go, plus the additional. Ruben Amorim's team 1-0 down on their first home game of the new season. What can they offer up late? They've been the better side in the last 15 minutes. They've been probing and trying their ever hardest to find a way through. But to no avail just yet. But it's not over till it's over. We know that much. Ahmad. Cunha. Ugarte. Down the right hand side. Mbomo. Brian Mbomo reverses it round the corner to Cunha. Gets it back. De Ligt with a cross. It's lofted in the air. It's Dorgu that keeps it alive. It's just away by Ødegaard. It's Maguire that works it back. Nice work there from United. Ugarte. De Ligt. Ugarte. Maguire. Ooh, Yoro. Almost caught in possession there by Saka, and he is. Saka lost his balance. Urian Timber trying to battle for him, and he does so, and does well there, Urian Timber, and then is completely hacked by Patrick Dorgu. That's going to be a free kick and a yellow card for Patrick Dorgu. Quantum says, I just want an Mboma goal or Odegaard or nothing because I've got Raya. I agree. I agree. I agree. I mean, I am unbiased, of course. Whatever happens, happens. But fantasy team-wise, I'll wait for judgment. Mixed feelings, 28 points earned today. At the minute, I'm on 46, but I will also have one player tomorrow night of Beto from Everton in for tomorrow night's game away at Leeds. But we'll see. We'll see. Still time for this game to change. David Raya got a yellow card for some reason. But he has been issued a yellow. Long throw from Arsenal into the box. Away by Harry Maguire. In again it goes, and away again by Maguire. Flicked over the top once more. This one is going to evade everybody. Goal kick. As the crowd roars once again to try and G their team up the field. Yeah, no, I don't know why David Raya got a yellow card there. That's going to go against him. That's not going to be great for us, but he keeps adding those points with the saves he's making. So that's going to go out away from Madueke for a Man United throw. 3.5 minutes to go. The time is dwindling away. Man United's hopes of getting something out of this first game of the season at home against Arsenal is dwindling too, unless they can create something late. Yoro. Ugarte. Back to Lenny Yoro. Pumps one forward. Šeško holds it up well. Tries the back heel. It's worked it into midfield. Ugarte's chasing. Ugarte to have a go. And he should have probably kept it alive there rather than having a shot, because that was way off targets. Matthew says, guys, United playing style must change this season. I think they've played quite well today. It's just, one, Raya's made some good saves, and two, they've lacked end product at times, but I've been really actually quite impressed with how they've progressed the ball forward between defence, midfield and into attack. They've worked it really nicely. And look, it might be just a one-game thing. They're playing this way against Arsenal. We'll see how they do as the season goes on, but so far so good in terms of the performance. Again, the result at the minute will be going against them, but there are positives, a lot of them, to take from this game, I would say, for Man United. Even if they don't come away with anything points-wise, there's positives. Here comes Ahmad. Wants to change that. Ahmad up against Lewis Skelly. Got it back to Bruno Fernandes. Back to Ahmad again. Ahmad. Nice little late run here from De Ligt into the box. Matthias De Ligt across. It's bouncing down. It's not away. It is now away from Arsenal. Just at the last second they get it away from danger. Oh my goodness, they left it late. And look, much more belief now for Man United. Arsenal scrambling at things. Here's Ahmad. And Burma in. Šeško brings it down. He lays it off. De Ligt. It falls for Dorgu. All very heavy touches. And Arsenal get a chance to clear it again. Ugarte picks it up. Swinging it to the far left side for Harry Maguire. Takes it down against Urian Timber, who does well to battle Maguire, and Saka just out-muscled by Lenny Yoro. Nice little turn. Yoro driving in field. Plays it to Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes lifting it up. Šeško with a header. And that one's going to go all the way behind for a goal kick. See this from De Ligt. Gets it across. It's Cunha battling. He couldn't get a clean connection. He thought he was tripped up there by Saliba. I don't think there's anything really in that. Well, actually, to be fair, I think he's trying to go for the ball, Saliba, but he does catch the man. And Quantum says I've got Pickford in my team, who I think is a good pick. Yeah, Pickford's a good goalkeeper as well. I was tossing. Wasn't too sure whether to pick either Henderson or Pickford, Dean Henderson or Jordan Pickford. Both two good goalkeepers, I think, but Dean Henderson for me is going to make some good saves this season for Palace. He's a very good goalkeeper, so I think that might just nip it for me. But again, Jordan Pickford will be great as well. 90 minutes are past, and there's going to be 6 more to come. More than enough time. And the crowd believe there's more than enough time too for anything to still happen. Arsenal have the throw-in. Timber up the right-hand side. Brought down by Odegaard. Timber under pressure. Does well there. Patrick Dorgu to stop him out. I think Urian Timber's also been given a yellow card. Again, I don't know why. Maybe holding on to the ball too long. Bit of time wasting maybe. But he's also been booked. A couple of the Arsenal players getting booked late here. David Raya was booked for time wasting, by the way. I can't confirm that. And I think Urian Timber might go down the same here in a minute, from what I'm told. That's good work from Arsenal. Here's Havertz. Is it too early for the corner flag? It might just be, but he's worked it back inside. That's a good move. Here is Odegaard. Chips it round the corner, and the shot from Saka takes a deflection. It will be a corner. All of a sudden, Arsenal are coming forward. Quantum says it's a good pick. They're in the same realm because Gehi plays for Palace, which means less saves to be made by Dean. Jordan has a worse defence. No offence. Yeah, I mean, I think Palace's defence is better than Everton's in my opinion, but they've got both strong defenders in there and 2 good goalkeepers. Corner to Arsenal. Bukayo Saka to take once again their 4th corner of the game. Their first of the game has the goal of which they lead. They take this corner short. Odegaard. Back to Zubamendi. And Lewis Skelly. Oh, he's a bit late there. I think he's just going to get away with that. It's going to be a yellow card for Miles Lewis Skelly. From their own corner. They've almost conceded a really great chance, and he is very lucky, Miles Lewis Skelly, there. And he wasn't the last man, because that could have been a different colour. But it's only yellow. And a free kick to Man United on the halfway line. Still 4 minutes of the 6 added to go. A lot of time left. Fernandes. Up. Battling around. Still alive here on the far right side. It's Maguire trying to keep it alive, and they will see it out for the throw down the right. Time is against them. Time is very much against them. Fernandes up for Maguire, who wasn't even going to get a chance. Lewis Skelly does well at heading that one away, and Havertz was battling the ball, and he was sent flying into the air by Ugarte there. That's a free kick. Quantum says Lewis Skelly needs to channel his anger, I think. You remember his red card v Wolves last year? Yeah. Arsenal did get a couple of red cards, silly red cards, unnecessary red cards last year. And it's a learning curve for him, but he was lucky there. He tried to get the ball, he took a heavy touch, he almost played in Bryan Mbeumo, and then he slid to try and win the ball back, and he just caught Mbeumo. He was late, but it's just a yellow. But if he was last man, it would have definitely been a red. Easily, but he wasn't, and therefore just a yellow. Arsenal, it's certainly not been pretty, I will say that. It's not been kind of glistening. It's been the dirty hard yards, and it's been a bit scruffy and scrappy and all of that, but if they come away with 3 points they won't care. Long pump into the area from Man United, and it will come off an Arsenal head, and it will be a corner. Maguire's claiming that he was pulled and wanting a penalty. It's just going to be a corner. We'll see this again. I mean, there's nothing really in that, in my opinion. They're both pulling each other, Urian Timber and Harry Maguire there. There's nothing in that. Nothing at all. Corner for Man United. Bruno Fernandes. 90 seconds to go. And a corner. Hands on heads, hoping, praying at the Stretford end that they see the net bulge and one of their players run off celebrating. Bruno Fernandes to deliver. Right-footed. It's deep. It's up in the air. Saliba. It's bouncing down. It's caught by Raya after their little flick by De Ligt. Could that be their final chance for Man United? Because Arsenal are on the move here with Odegaard. Lovely little footwork. He's rolled it forward for Saka to chase. Saka's got onto it. And he's not going to go and attack this, or he is. He's going to spin in. Spin into the box and put it across. Oh! That was almost a chance for Madueke. And Altabayindir grabs. And is there one last chance for United now? 30 seconds of the 6 added to go. They're going to leave it late. They're going to keep it up and alive. Maguire flicks on from the Mbermo thump. It's not cleared away. Madueke doesn't get a clean connection. Havertz tries to get it away. Brought down in the midfield, but Arsenal have the ball now. Odegaard, Saka, and now with the many players Man United had committed forward, it looked like they were in there, Arsenal, but they've given it away cheaply. Bayindir, one last pump of the ball from Bruno Fernandes. There's no time. There's the final whistle. And Arsenal have hung on. And they've done the job that many said was impossible before today. Many said Man United are going to come flying out and put it past Arsenal. Well, not under Mikel Arteta and his team's watch. Ricardo Calafiori's header at the back post from a corner early in the game, followed up by some great saves by David Raya on the day, have combined to get Arsenal a 1-0 victory at Old Trafford and an opening day win and clean sheet away from home. It's a big result for Arsenal. Man City won with ease. Liverpool won late as well. Chelsea drawing. Arsenal wanted to respond to the two they know will be in the title race, and they claimed a massive away victory. It's only match day 1, but every point counts, and especially in this fixture. Arsenal get the job done, and they get another victory against Manchester United. Final score from Old Trafford, and our first big headline of the season. It is finished Manchester United 0, Arsenal 1. And what a result. What a result for the Gunners, but what a performance, I gotta say, for Man United. A very hearty performance. The result didn't go their way, but as I said, even if the result didn't go their way, there is a lot of positives to take from this game from Man United's point of view. They're in the very early stages of rebuilding this team to a team that can be competitive. And with a couple of the new stars on show today, they certainly put on a show. They couldn't score, they couldn't find the net. Arsenal's goalkeeper held firm, as did their defence, who at times did look shaky, but it was one of their defence that ended up scoring the winner in Ricardo Calafiori. Great result and a great game. Not many full of goals, but we take it and we see what will come in weeks to come, as Calafiori's goal is enough for Arsenal to head back to North London with all 3 points and a clean sheet in the bag. And there you have it. That is our Sunday action for you. Let's round up what we've already seen then. So just the one goal here at this Sunday afternoon on our double header of action. It wasn't the most frivolous of goals, but it was two very good matchups and two very closely fought matchups on the opening weekend of the season. Chelsea drawing 0-0 with Palace, and Man United beaten 1-0 at home against Arsenal. Nottingham Forest claimed a big victory against Brentford as well earlier this afternoon. 9 down, 1 to go on opening weekends, and we are at Ellen Road tomorrow night to round off our 6th and final game of opening weekend here in LFS. And we are at Ellen Road, as I said, as Leeds take on Everton. Newly promoted Leeds under Daniel Farke take on Everton and David Moyes. That's tomorrow, 8 o'clock on LFS. But it is the Gunners that come away with a big 3 points in the opening weekend in probably one of their toughest opening games in recent history. They had to fight for it, they had to work hard, they needed their goalkeeper at times, but in the end, it was the Italian stallion, Ricardo Calafiori, that rose the highest from a corner and delivered all 3 points. Bye-bye.